Hey guys, welcome back to Golf Simulator Videos. Man, do we have an incredible video for you today. As you can see, I'm not in the normal GSV studio. We actually get a question all of the time. It's everyone looking to do a home golf simulator build, but on a budget. Well, guess what we did? We found the most affordable, high quality products and built ourselves a golf simulator. All right, a totally DIY, affordable home golf simulator, and I'm here to tell you guys all about it. Let's go. All right, guys, so here we are in my all-new home golf simulator. All right, this is probably the most impressive DIY affordable home golf simulator that I could have ever thought of, and it has a lot to do with the components that I found. All right, so there's a lot in this video. All right, so make sure you stay tuned the whole time. I'm going to show you guys a time lapse of how I built this, and when you talk about DIY golf simulator, well, I actually did this completely by myself, and you're going to see in a time lapse how I actually assembled everything in only just over an hour, if you can believe that, even with some custom work we'll talk about along the way. All right, so, and then just so you guys understand, I already have worked out with my partners a discount code that will be available, all right, for especially the Enclosure, which is kind of going to be the hero of the show. We'll talk about in just a second. All right, so whether you're looking for a full package or you're looking maybe just for the Flightscope Mevo Plus or SkyTrak, whatever it may be, but make sure you reach out to me. All right, my email will be in the description and it will be pinned to the top of the comments. And I'm also going to put links to some of these value items that I found in the description as well. But let's go ahead and get started. All right, there's a lot to talk about. I'll try to kind of move through this quickly in the beginning, show you the time lapse, we'll do some demo shots and wrap things up. All right, so first let's talk about, like I said, the hero of the show, the 24/7 Golf Sim Bay. I say hero of the show because a lot of things. One, I have people that reach out all of the time. All right, I'm doing my first home golf simulator. Where do I start? I have a space that's only this big and I only have this much budget. What do I do? Well, an enclosure like this really solves a lot of that. The reason is because it comes in 3 different sizes, and this is the smallest size, which is going to accommodate for a lot of people because it's only 10 feet wide. It's only about 8.5 feet tall and 5.25 feet deep. All right, and it gives you a plenty, good immersive experience, all right, but yet can fit into those smaller spaces, and it's actually quality, all right? It's not a screen that rips after so long, and you're not out buying PVC, trying to piece things together. It's all included. Metal piping that snaps together easy. You'll see that in the time lapse here in a minute. And you can build these by yourself. Only one person. That's why I said you talk about DIY. This is truly do-it-yourself home golf simulator. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the enclosure first. So I told you this is the smallest size. You can also go up to a 10 by 10 by 10. That's going to give you 10 tall and then 10 deep. So when that enclosure gets 10 feet deep, it makes it a little bit easier to put a projector on there. We'll talk about my projector and mount here in just a second, but it also kind of gives you a little darker area, a little more immersive, all right, if you can fit that. And then there's also a version that goes 13 wide, and then it's 10 by 10, and that's the perfect 4:3 ratio screen. It just depends on what you're trying to do. I'm using an iPad today, and I'll tell you what, we can talk about the projector really quick. This is a great image. I mean, it's filling up that full 10-foot wide screen, and I just have little black bars on the top and bottom. And for the price that this thing's coming in at, I think it's a fantastic setup, and it's plenty immersive for me. So I'll talk about the projector really quick, because just so you guys understand, I was able to get all of this stuff for under $2,700. We're talking all the enclosure, mats, foam pieces underneath, projector mounts, HDMI cables, all that stuff, under $2,700. All right, and like I said, I'll put the links in the description and everything. But so what I did here is I went on eBay and I found an Optima GT 1080 HDR, 400 bucks. It has a 0.5 throw ratio, which is easy to fit on a screen like this. All right, and if you have that 10 by 10 by 10, you can almost fill up the whole thing. And just so you know, when you're using a PC and the NVIDIA control panel, you could actually take this right here and stretch it if you wanted to and almost fill it up. So there are options for that too, but this is a plug and play situation I wanted to show you today. The easy, hey, I'm gonna do it first time, type situation. So what I have going on here is This is a 2-foot extension projector mount. I'll put the link in the description. And I actually drilled 2 holes because this is all sturdy metal. All right, 2 nicely spaced holes with big bolts and washers sturdily mounted up there. And you know, you'll be able to see how I did it in the time lapse actually. And look at that, it's 7 feet from the screen and it's giving me just a nice image for $400. I mean, you can't beat that. So let's talk a little bit more about the enclosure because it's obviously such an important part of this build. So this whole enclosure piece around the metal poles is one piece. That's very important. You don't have things coming apart, balls getting stuck all over or sneaking through a crack, whatever it may be, and damaging something. All one piece. And then it actually, everything is built in. So it has like this industrial grade Velcro where you wrap around and are able to tighten everything. And it's super easy. And while we have a minute here, I'll actually step off to the side and I'll put up a picture of the back of the enclosure, which is the genius part. So they have this tightening system in the back. All right, and you can see how those straps are there where you can just tighten the screen how you want it. Now I did it kind of taunt. You can see I have most of the wrinkles out, but yet when I hit a ball really fast into it, the ball drops down, which is important to me. But the other thing you'll notice is that there's actually a buffer from where actually the back of the poles are, all right, to where the screen is. Multiple reasons that's important. All right, even though they include padding around the screen, you'll see me install that in the time lapse. But you don't have a ball hitting a pole, all right, and bouncing back, but then also you can put this right up against your wall or whatever it may be, and it gives it the play that it needs when a ball hits it, all right? I just think that's a really, really good design, all right? So that covers most of the enclosure, all right? Let's talk about these components before I show you the time lapse really quick. So I put foam gym tiles underneath with some putting turf that I found on eBay. I think the putting turf was only like 90 bucks. I made the guy an offer. I can put that link down there. And then these gym tiles were also, I think, under $100, all right? Because you only need so many square feet. And you'll see me lay those down in the video. And it fits perfectly. I have turf screen to hitting mat, and then it's perfectly level. So, you know, if you were putting a ball, all right, I mean, look how perfect that rolls. I mean, it's really nice for the money. And that's the whole goal here is hey, I'm building a home golf simulator on a budget, right? So that was the whole goal. We'll talk about this hitting mat really quick. This is also from 24/7 Golf. All right, I love that it's in a compact space, but yet you can fit right and left-handed players easily. It gives you plenty of room, and it's also forgiving. All right, so not only is it sturdy, but it's also forgiving. You're not tearing up your elbows and wrists because the thing is you know, you hit a fat shot and there's just no forgiveness at all. So all important stuff. Now let me show you a picture of the setup. I'll stand off to the side again. So you'll see, because we'll be demonstrating with the Flightscope Mevo Plus and the SkyTrak, that I actually have a runway set up for the Mevo Plus. Now, if you're using it in a simulator environment like E6 Connect, that's kind of the first software I figured I would show off because it's included with the Flightscope Mevo Plus, and it's the iOS version, which we're using today. You want to make sure you have a flat and level surface, all right, which we have here. I've already been putting on it. It's been working great, and I am actually 8 feet unit to ball, and then I have a little over 9 feet of flight. All right, so just so you understand the setup that we have. So that covers most everything that we need as far as kind of going over the components and everything. Let's take a look at the time lapse so you guys can check out how I did this home golf simulator build all by myself. Like I said, DIY affordable home golf simulator time lapse. Let's check it out.
All right, guys, so the first thing you want to do is take your foam tiles, lay them all out. I just kind of take my turf and temporarily lay that out. I take all the metal piping, set that all up, and it just clicks together. So for one person to do this, it just makes it really simple. You can take your enclosure now and drape that over and just use the Velcro to tighten everything up, which makes it really simple. I actually have a few pieces out of place. You'll see I adjust those. It was pretty simple to do that. And then obviously it gets into full size. All right, then I tighten my straps in the back just temporarily and get everything kind of just a little more secure. I grab that padding and put it all around the sides. And then now I just grab my projector mount and I get that all assembled. And then what I actually do is I grab my drill and I drill 2 holes into the pipe with large bolts and washers. So it's very secure, and I get the projector all mounted up the way I wanted to using that center pole. I run HDMI and power, and then just kind of get my iPad hooked up, turn the lights off so I can do a quick projector kind of adjustment with the aspect ratio and keystone and everything, so I get it looking decent. And then after that, we grab a golf club and we take a couple quick shots. We use FS Golf first off, get things kind of zoomed in, and here's Awesome Golf, and we were ready to go.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that time lapse. I feel like it really shows how this is a true, affordable DIY home golf simulator. You know, when you can see it that, hey, one person put this together, and like I said, it was a little over an hour, and I did a custom mount you know, for my projector, all right? I was drilling holes and everything, you know? So I think that now that I've put the enclosure together, I could probably do it in about 30 minutes by myself. I know where the pieces go, and I'm sure you heard me in the time lapse there. I actually put a few pieces in the wrong spot at first. I had to fix that, but it was easy. I mean, it really was. So let's hit a couple shots really quick. I have E6 Connect hooked up. I have my Flightscope Mevo Plus ready to go. Like I said, we're using an iPad today with the HDMI dongle, and I have a metallic dot on the Mevo Plus. So we should be good to go, other than it's been a long day of doing all of this. Let's see if I can actually hit a few okay shots. That was a little thin to start things off, but let's see how it ends up. Not too bad. Probably didn't spin it the way I'd like to. Let's see what kind of data we have here. 141 carry, which is pretty normal. Backspin 68.21. I mean, that's okay. I'd like to get it higher than that when I'm compressing the ball properly. Let's see if we can hit another one for you guys here. And I would like to demonstrate a couple things. I figured that I would show you guys, you know, the Flightscope Mevo Plus in this setup. And then I would also show you maybe a couple shots on Awesome Golf. And then we'll drop down the SkyTrak and give you guys a couple shots. All right, and that way you guys can kind of have a good understanding. You can ask any questions, you know. Make sure you comment below. Let me know what you think, any questions that you have. I mean, I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, please do. Well, that was better, but it was a little towards the toe. So, not terrible. I mean, you see my little aiming stick there. I'll take that. I mean, for how tired I am putting this thing all together, I'm not complaining too much. I got a little more spin out of it. Not too bad. All right, so let me go ahead and set up Awesome Golf and show you guys that. Let's go ahead and move over. All right, guys, so we're all set up with Awesome Golf. And the reason that I wanted to show this is I've shown it significantly in the channel, so if you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. But, you know, this is our affordable DIY home golf simulator. Well, this is affordable software. All right, it's very affordable software. You can use it on an iPad like I am today. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. They have some great stuff for kids. I'm actually out at the range. This is the approach area. Very cool for some practice. I love all the targets they have. I want to touch on something really quick because I don't know if you guys can hear it or not. I know my microphone kind of does a pretty good job of you know, buffering things down. So the one thing that I really like about just this simple setup with HDMI is this Optima GT 1080 HDR actually has a built-in speaker. A lot of projectors have built-in speakers. And so I'm ready to go. I have sound. Birds are chirping. I can hear balls landing. You know, it's really cool. So let's go ahead and give you a quick demo here of what Awesome Golf looks like. And I want to talk a little bit about the screen and where the ball lands because I didn't talk about that much when we were hitting balls with E6. Oh, that's a pretty decent shot. Did I get it there though? I'll take it. I'll take it. So I tried to jump on that one a little bit. I hit just a little bit behind the ball, but look where the ball lands. All right, sometimes it's even up here. So I really could probably tighten my screen a little bit more, you know, now that I'm hitting some more balls. So I'd be interested, you know, to what you guys think because I talk to so many people. And they build these screens, you know, whether they're cheap screens or however they're doing it. It's like, you know, kind of a homemade system that they're using. And I'm watching balls like fly back. So we'll hit some drivers in another video as well. I just grabbed the 9-iron so you guys can kind of just see demonstration. Let's see if we can maybe get one just a little bit further here. See if I caught all that one. Oh, that's good. Go. Go. Oh, the backspin. See how I actually got 74-14 of backspin. That was a good shot. I mean, 145 carry, that's actually pretty normal for my 9 iron. I'm tired right now, but hey, I'll take the balls that are going pretty straight. So last thing I want to do is I want to grab the SkyTrak unit because that has iOS software that I think it's really important for you guys to see. I showed how, actually, look where that ball ended up. That's what I was talking about. See how it's only like a foot from the screen, and I kind of jumped on that thing, you know? So it's very impressive, you know, everything that I'm seeing so far with the 24/7 golf, you know, Simbe enclosure, kind of what I've done here with the putting in it and the turf and everything. I just think it's really cool. But let's grab the SkyTrak unit now, because not everybody has the space for the Flightscope Mevo Plus. So as I probably showed you guys already, and if I haven't, I'll throw it up on the screen again so we can talk about this. You know, you don't have to do what I'm doing here. So we're using Awesome Golf right now. I could have this unit sitting on the ground, and then it gives you a selection for your tee height. Okay, so I think that's important just to understand. You don't need this little runway that I have if you don't have intentions on playing like the full simulation golf with the 12 degrees. Okay, so you'd be actually at, what I'm at right now is 17 degrees. Okay, so a few things to talk about there, but let's go ahead and jump over to the SkyTrak unit and give you guys a couple shots. All right, guys, so here we are with the SkyTrak Golf Launch Monitor. I have it turned on, set up, hooked up to the iPad via Wi-Fi, and I'm actually gonna show you guys something. All right, we talked a lot about the golf enclosure, but I wanna talk about the mat for a second. So I'm gonna take my ball, I'm gonna put it on the dot, logo facing the unit like it's supposed to be, but I'm gonna take my club and I'm gonna hit right next to the ball. Notice the ball doesn't move at all. I mean, I'm right next to it. All right, well, that's actually very important, okay? You don't want your SkyTrak unit moving all around. So this is a very, very sturdy mat. But at the same time, if I take my finger and put it down inside of here, this is past my first knuckle. It's actually very, very good depth, okay, of the fibers, giving you a forgiveness, you know, so you're not tearing up your elbows and wrists. But you're not using some really tall bristle and hitting fat shots and not knowing it. All right, you're getting flyers out of there, and you shouldn't be, because you want to be improving your golf game, right? So I think that's really important. So let's go ahead and hit a few shots down there, see if I have the energy left in me to hit a few decent ones for you guys. Not too bad of a shot. I hope I didn't draw it too much. A little bit of a draw. I'll take that. I will take that all day. All right, set us up for, it was a clean strike. I just knew it was gonna have a little bit of a draw to it. I set us up for 3-shot challenge. All right, so we'll hit 3 shots for you guys. I'm trying to think of anything else that we need to talk about, you know, when we're talking about this DIY affordable home golf simulator. I want you guys to comment below. You know, let me know what you think. Any questions that you have? Well, that might be a good example of a fat shot. Oh man, that was really bad. How far did that go? 120? Well, there's a good example of taking a fat shot. Let's see if we can recover there and show you guys what a good shot looks like. I think I just kind of gave up on that. It shows you I'm just getting tired. It's a long day putting all this together by myself. There's another good swing. That was a perfect example of the fat shot. Oh, I straightened it out a little bit. A little too much of a fade on it, but that's okay. That was perfect. I'll take it all day long. Those are 2 really good strikes. You can see I actually carried them probably about 145 or 6 or so. So yeah, distance was 148, 148. Oh, I'm sorry. That was because I played a couple times. So I was messing around a little bit. So there you go. So a couple other challenges on there. So that was actually the highest points, 200 points. How about that? So guys, I really hope this has been just an awesome overview of how you can build your own DIY affordable home golf simulator, all right, and come in at just an unbelievably low budget compared to most setups. And you gotta understand, you can customize it and you can do things in your own way. This is just a perfect example, and I'm glad that I found things for you guys if you wanna use those, but make sure you drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what anybody else has to say, maybe what they used instead of what I used. But this all new golf enclosure, I think, is a game changer. I really do. I think coming in at a price this low, and I'm also going to be able to give you guys that discount code as well. I'm very happy with the product. Like I said, look where that ball bounces, the ability to set it up by yourself. I mean, that was a key factor. You know, that really took me by surprise when they said, hey, listen, you're going to put this thing together by yourself. And actually, I didn't have documentation. They're creating documentation because this is brand new. But the way that the metal poles just snap together, you know, the one-piece enclosure system, you know, just made it really simple, you know. So as you guys can see in the time lapse that I showed you. So I definitely want to hear your questions, comments, throw them down below. As always, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for a lot more. We'll talk to you soon.